Hello, my name is Micah Feldkamp. Today I'm going to show you how to schedule a meeting while scanning a business card using natural language processing technology. This tutorial can be applied to any CRM system or business card scanner application, so stay tuned in. So I have a short script to show us that'll show us how to benefit us in real life. So let's pretend we're meeting a new customer at the Hard Rock Cafe networking mixer. We have a nonprofit, Micah, and John does fundraising. Okay, so we have an introduction. I eventually give John my business card and suggest we meet. John recognizes this opportune time to schedule a meeting and tells us it's going to be painless and that we ask to do it right now. Then he asks a close-ended question. Do you have your calendar on you? Well, of course we do. So while we're reaching for our phone, John takes this opportunity to scan the business card. And once we find an available time, John's already done scanning the business card and is in his calendar app, ready to confirm a time with us. We confirm a time and location together. John goes back to the business card scanner and says, meet with Micah from 10 a.m. to noon next Tuesday at the Hard Rock Cafe in Phoenix, Arizona, and click save. Then tells us that we'll see an invite on our calendar soon and a greeting email with his contact details. So in this example, this real life example, John's able to quickly schedule meetings while in person, making it painless for both parties, and doing relationship activities in person are going to be more effective than saying, I'll call you next week or send you an email to schedule that meeting. Because the next week or day, the person may have an upset stomach or just flat out not interested anymore. So I recommend having these tools on hand to bring your relationship to the next level and at the right time, face to face, making you lightning fast and effective networker. Before we begin the tutorial, I'll give you some background information about me. I'm a CRM consultant at Cloud Referrals, serving new and existing Insightly CRM users. I've been a member of the Insightly community for over 2 years, becoming one of the first Insightly heroes, Insightly authorized partners, and playing a valuable role in the community by solving support requests, giving feedback on beta features, and developing best practices for Insightly. You can connect with me via email at micah@cloudreferrals.com. So in this tutorial, we'll first learn about natural language processing technology, NLP. Second, review the integration process. Third, perform a brief demonstration. Find out what applications are needed. And finally, show you how to set up the CRM integration. So what is the natural language processing, or NLP? I'll give you a quick demonstration using my Insightly Slack bot. So I have my demo account open, my demo channel, and I type in find contact Mary Sue. So Insightly fetches the information I want from the CRM database, and then I request Insightly to create task to call Mary. And then I'll click on the task. I have links back to the database. So as you can see, Insightly's Slackbot uses NLP technology to understand human language, as it's spoken, or in this example, typed. You may have already used tools such as Siri or Google Voice, which also rely on NLP. And in our Slackbot example, Insightly Slackbot example, you can see how we apply NLP technology to our CRM by either fetching details for you from the CRM, just like Siri would if you ask Siri what the weather is today. Siri is going to go fetch data from weather.com to get you the information you want. Very similar action here. Or we take a step further, updating your CRM with new information, like we have a task, and then linking the task to the contact I was referring to, Mary Sue. And that's smart technology to understand who I'm referring to, even though I'm not using a first or last name. So this is sort of the first step for using artificial intelligence with Insightly in your CRM. And now you know what NLP does, how it can be applied. Let's learn how to use this in the fast-paced world of networking events and trade shows. So the process overview, we have 5 steps. Step 1, find mutually available times with your contact, like John and I did when we checked our calendars. And while your contact is checking their calendar, you will already have your business card scanner open and ready to complete step 2, scan the business card. Input the meeting details. The mobile app should have an available field to enter in notes or background information about your new lead. There you'll input the scheduling directions, and the first word you need to use is meet. M-E-E-T, exactly like this. The word serves 2 functions. First, it gives directions on scheduling the meeting, and second, acts as a green light to run the integration, because you're going to be scanning a lot of business cards, and some of them will not use this integration, and we need some way to know when to run the integration. So this is the fastest, easiest, most effective way to get this done. Although it's important to note there's no specific format, syntax, or language needed in order for the NLP technology to understand your scheduling directions. So you could say, meet with Micah from 10 a.m. to noon next Tuesday at the Hard Rock Cafe, or meet over Skype with Micah tomorrow from 1300 to 1600. Doesn't really matter how you communicate the directions, the technology will be smart enough to understand you. So move on to step 3, filter for new records. Zapier, our integration service, will filter for the records with matching criteria before running the integration. The note field starts with the word meet. An email address exists. The record was created from a business card, etc. If the criteria matches, then we move on to step 4, meeting invite. Here Zapier sends the note details and email address to the Google Calendar app. If you don't use Google Calendar, it's not a problem. There are tons of ways to integrate your current calendar with Google Calendar. If you need assistance, please contact me. The reason we need this calendar app is because Google uses natural language processing to create an event for my scheduling directions. And at this time, no other calendar service integrated with Zapier offers this feature. So after Google processes your scheduling directions, the invite is sent to the contact's email address. And finally, if you want to, I recommend sending your new contact a nice to meet you email with a reminder of your date and contact information. Step 5 is a calendar sync. Usually your CRM activities are separate from your CRM's activities. In order to get this information synced to both calendars, you can do this with your CRM's native calendar integration, like Insightly CRM has, or use a third-party tool like Chronify to sync your CRM and Office calendars. I added a bonus tip towards the end of the integration setup. We'll talk about how to quickly create a follow-up task and link the task to the record using the same NLP technology, and will be similar to the Insightly Slackbot example. So we now know how to apply this technology in real-world uses while integrated with your CRM. We're ready to move on to our brief demonstration. We're going to use Insightly as our CRM for this example. Let's go to the business card scanner help page. Okay. So this is what it would look like if I did the demonstration using their iOS or Android Insightly app. See? So we choose what record we want to create, lead or contact. We'll choose leads for this demonstration. Then we scan the business card. So after clicking scan business card, make sure you have a good camera on you. You only want to do this once. Again, be as fast as possible. And then we get to this screen here to enter in the note details. But before we do, we switch to our calendar app to confirm a time and location. Then we come back to this screen. We have the option to edit or add certain details to the record before the business card is transcribed and added to Insightly. We have only one field we need to complete, and it's this background field, or again, note field if you're using a different business card scanner. We input our scheduling directions into the field, and we type, or you can speak the scheduling directions with your phone's voice to text function. Again, we always start with the word meet in our scheduling directions. For our example, we say, meet with Micah from 10 a.m. to noon next Tuesday at the Hard Rock Cafe in Phoenix, Arizona. Next, we click save, and then wait for a human to transcribe the business card. With Insightly's business card scanner, the transcription process typically takes around 20 minutes. This is not instantaneous because the feature relies upon human transcription, because humans are statistically much more accurate than computer programs doing the work. So wait about 20 minutes or less for the business card scan to process. Then we'll wait at the most 15 minutes for Zapier to run the integration, or 5 minutes if you're on a Zapier premium plan. So in total, there's about a 30-minute window before everything is updated in your CRM, calendar, and your contact has received the greeting email and meeting invite. So let's show you what happens after the record is created and Zapier has finished its task. So we go to our calendar to find the event. Here, okay, so today was Sunday, and then next Tuesday would be the 23rd. As you can see, we parsed the summary of the meeting correctly. We had the date and the time correct, 10 a.m. to noon, which it recognizes as 12 p.m. It understands our language. And then we have the location parsed into the location field and a meeting invite sent to me. Very good. And then in the calendar, we also have tasks from our Insightly Slackbot example, like shown here. So our CRM calendar is in sync with our Insightly calendar. So I'll show you what that looks like. So I go to my Insightly calendar. Wait for it to retrieve the events. Okay. The task is here for Mary, and we have the event here for the Hard Rock Cafe with Micah. So everything looks good. Next, let's go to our lead record. Micah Feldkamp. Okay. So all the details from my business card are pulled into the correct default fields. The scheduling directions in the lead description field, and a tag named business card, which Insightly automatically generates when entering new records using their business card scanner. There were a few additional details we skipped over, including the lead status field, the lead rating, industry, number of employees, and lead source. We'll talk about how we got those fields updated later. But for now, CRM looks good. Let's go check our email client to see the greeting email. Hello, Micah from John Doe. It was a pleasure meeting you today. I just sent you the invite for our appointment on time and date. Contact details can be found below. Looks good. Okay, we did a lot of automation, stemming from a quick photo, saying a few words in about 5 clicks. Very simple and fast. Okay, demonstration's complete. Let's talk about what software we'll need. Here. So we have required and optional software subscriptions. We require Google Calendar, a free Gmail account, or paid G Suite account. Next, Zapier, any paid plan. A business card scanner mobile app compatible with Zapier. If you have a business card scanning feature integrated with your CRM, I recommend using that one instead, like with Insightly. But of course, you can certainly recreate your own business card scanner and CRM integration using Zapier. Last required subscription, you need a CRM compatible with Zapier with a create new contact and or lead actions and triggers. For the optional subscriptions, I highly recommend using Clearbit in your Zapier integration. So let's go to their website real quick. So Clearbit is a data enrichment service that matches person and company details using the person's email address as a reference point. Power, okay. Enrich existing records, improve lead scoring. So we'll talk about that lead rating just a little bit. So let's go to their solutions. And then we have the Zapier integration. So this is valuable to include. So as you can see, we have a trigger, which would be the business card scanner, and then you'd match the email address from the business card scanner, and it would find person and company information on the web, and then update your CRM with that data. You have hundreds of data sources. Very, very amazing tool. I think it's rated #1 on G2 Crowd, which is a software review site for the best data enrichment service. But let's go back to our lead record and show you what this did. So from the business card, you're not going to get certain information like industry or number of employees. When we have those fields updated along with the lead source and the lead status, then we can formulate an accurate lead rating, which is this field here. And that will tell you if the lead is valuable to your organization. So if they're in the IT industry, has 10 employees, the lead's already been contacted, you met in person at a networking event, and you already have a meeting set up, that customer profile, right? It's the customer profile, plus the level of engagement. So they've been contacted and we have a meeting. That may be a super hot lead for you, and you may have a very high lead rating because of this. So adding Clearbit, Zapier, and you may need to include your CRM's internal automation tools like Insightly has with their workflow processes. All these services combined will give you a complete lead profile and formulate an accurate lead rating. I'll sum it up with this. Manage your time effectively and focus on the right relationships. If you need more information on how to integrate Clearbit with Zapier in your CRM, I provided a link below to the tutorial. For the second optional subscription, we have Chronify. This is only if your CRM doesn't have a native calendar integration. Here, Chronify offers calendar integration services. So I'll go to their website. Connecting calendars to software. And then if you go here, that they integrate with major calendar systems. And then a little further below, go to calendar connectors, and it will show you off-the-shelf solutions with popular apps like Trello, Zendesk, Slack. If you want to create your own, you certainly can, and they'll provide you with a Zapier integration, or you can have a custom integration using their framework to these calendar APIs. So I highly recommend using Chronify, again, if you don't have a native calendar integration. So here Insightly has one with Google or Exchange. Any events added or edited in one calendar will be instantly updated in the other, just like in the example I showed you. So links are provided below to each service provider. Let's move on to the setup process. We go to Zapier, business card scanner, NLP integration, lead records. Get it. Okay. So again, Insightly has a business card scanner. So we don't need a business card scanner in our Zapier integration. If you did have one, the business card scanner would be the first app triggered in this integration. For our integration, we're looking for new leads with the following criteria. Let's go to our filter. So tags, text contains business_card, email address exists, and lead description starts with meet or the note or background field. It's the same name, but it's the same field, but happens to be different names. And then if a new lead matches this criteria, we send the lead description field and email address to Google Calendar's quick add event. So we have this app here. We select the quick add, connect our calendar, edit the template. Okay. So I connect my calendar, and then I put the lead description field here. And then the lead's email address here. And this technology will understand this language and create a meeting invite from it and send a meeting invite to the lead, this email address here. Next, we send the lead a nice to meet you email. So I have an email by Zapier, send outbound email, edit template to Micah Feldkamp, Micah@cloudreferrals.com. Subject, pleasure to meet you. Hello, Micah. It's a pleasure meeting you today. I just sent you the invite for appointment on insert start time. And then you input your email signature below so they have your contact details. Then we have an event update action as the last step. So it's a Google Calendar again, update event to connect your calendar. So this can be used to automatically color code events, change visibility settings, update the details section, etc., all making you more organized, aligned with your organization's security policy, and saving you more time. If you want to include event reminders specifically for this integration, which I highly recommend because this is your second interaction together, what you can do is update this update event action with a note in the details section. So I connect my calendar, I connect this event, I use a custom value, and I grab this event ID from the event that was just created. So it updates that newly created event. And then for the description, I put send meeting reminder. Then we can create another integration. So I already have one here with another service. So edit this one. So I start with an event start trigger. Same Google Calendar, connect my calendar. Okay. And we're looking for events starting, for example, in the next 24 hours or 60 minutes. I have the example here, but let's do 24 hours. So the day before the event starts, it's going to trigger an outbound email. We'll get to that in just a second. So it triggers only on events containing the search term send meeting reminder. So it's going to only send this meeting and reminder email for only the business card scanner NLP integration. So only for those events. And then it'll get triggered and it'll tell Zapier to send an email. You select the attendees list here, meeting reminder, and put the summary. So I'll turn this setup preview off. Okay, so we have the attendees email from the event, which will be yours and the lead's email address. Meeting reminder, you input the summary, reminder, this event is coming up soon, and then put the summary and the start time. Okay. So this is very simple and effective. We get the most up-to-date calendar event details, as your meetings will be rescheduled and canceled sometimes. So this event start trigger conforms to those changes. And if you're interested in integrating your CRM with more intelligent scheduling services, like I have here with this artificially intelligent scheduling bot called Amy at x.ai, then check out the link below. Okay, we're almost done. As I promised, we'll learn how to apply this technology for follow-up activities, not just for scheduling meetings. So let's go back to our integration. We can copy it. Copy the integration. We'll edit this one. All right, so we have our integration ready to modify. And let's go back to the script to get you in the mode of thought for this next integration. So here where it says, okay, so instead of us saying, John, I'm available next week on Tuesday from 10 a.m. till noon, we say, hey, I forgot, I have a big trip coming up. Can you follow up with me in about 3 weeks? Then John would say, instead of saying meet with Micah from 10 a.m. to noon, John's going to say follow up with Micah on such and such date instead of meet with Micah. So the only thing you need to do as a user when giving the scheduling directions is say follow up with instead of meet. It's very easy and simple to remember. So let's go back to the integration to make the modifications. Ours up here. So again, we start with a new lead, and then we go to filter, filter setup and testing. We can leave the tags and email address the same. For the lead description, text starts with follow. Okay. And then for the quick add event, we'll modify the email address. We'll leave this field blank or empty. And then for the outbound email, I still recommend sending a nice to meet you email with your contact details. And next, we're going to add a task for Insightly. Create task. Okay. In order to fill out this task, so connect your Insight CRM account. In order to create this task, we're going to use the same data from the newly created calendar event to populate the title and date fields, default the category to follow up, and pull data from the newly created lead record to link the task to the lead. So for the title, we go to the quick add event, pull the summary. Again, it's going to say follow up with Micah. I'll turn this off so it's easier to understand. Assign to, you can pull that data from the lead record. And then the due date, again, we're going to the quick add event. You can pull the start date. For the category, we'll input follow up. We'll default it to that value. And then for the link ID, we need to pull that data from the new lead. And the link type will be lead. And of course, you can modify all these other fields to your liking. Okay. And then lastly, we're going to add another app or modify this update event app. So let's go to the different actions we can do with Google Calendar and select delete event. Continue. And again, the reason we're doing this deleted event is because we don't need a meeting invite in our calendar. We just need that task created. And the reason we needed this quick add event created in the first place is to use the NLP technology to tell us what the follow-up activity is about and when it's going to take place, right? And that's how we create the task. So that's why we need to delete the event, because it's no longer useful. And it's just going to clog up our calendar. So we go to event. So we're going to use a custom value for this one. And then we can get the event ID from the quick add event. Notify attendees, no. And you're all done. So quick recap on the modifications. You filter for follow. Leave the email address field blank or empty. Add a task and use details from the event and lead record to create the task. And then replace the update event with a delete event action instead. And you're all done. So next time you're walking into a trade show or networking event, carry a good smartphone on you with a good camera. Have your CRM, calendar, and business card scanning apps open on your phone, ready to scan business cards and schedule appointments. All the resources needed for this setup are linked below. This concludes the tutorial. If you need further assistance, connect with me via email at micah@cloudreferrals.com or connect with me using the link below. And if you want to see more content like this in the future, make a donation to my YouTube channel, like the video, and subscribe. Thank you for watching.